So let's talk about shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts can actually save you a metric butt ton of time. Instead of doing something, having to go up here, find it here, go over to it there, find it there, select it, and do some dialing. Wouldn't it be easier if you could just hit a key? Wouldn't it just be so much easier? Well, let's get some of those ready. Okay, so the first one I want to draw your attention to is play. Play. How do you play? Well, you can hit the play button.
Everyone lost someone.
Or you can hit the Spacebar.
There was no family
Spacebar is your friend, especially when you want to play. So generally I have my hand laid on top of my keyboard. So thumb rests directly on the spacebar, and then I've got my fingers up here by some of my hotkeys. Okay, so I can always just hit my spacebar like that, or I can use my fingers up here to hit my insert silence, or my silence, or my insert silence over here with my 5, right? So those are generally the only 3 keys I use, but there are some other keys you need to know about. So V is your move tool. So hitting V will open up your move tool, and then if you mouse over these things, they'll show you what they are. So the razor is R, and the razor is how we cut things, right? The slip tool, which you're not going to use, but if the off case you want to use it or you find out how to use it, Y. The time selection tool is T. T will pull that up, okay? And the time selection tool, you'll use it to highlight certain things. Let's talk about how to edit your keyboard shortcuts, because your style may be slightly different than mine, and you may find some keys or some tools that you want to start using that I'm not covering in here. So let's go to Edit. Let's scroll all the way down to keyboard shortcuts, or you can hit Alt-K. And I think that might be Option-K for Mac users. I'm not exactly for sure, but yeah, there it is. So that'll pull up this guy right here. Now, this is how you add and take away keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so I highlight 7, right? So you'll see right here, key is 7, multiple commands assigned. Modifiers, there's no modifier on that. That'd be like an Alt or a Shift or a Control or a Control Alt Shift or whatever. So there's no modifier on there, and I got it set for silence. I'm going to take that off just so I can show you how to add a keyboard shortcut. I want to add silence. I'm going to come over here to the left-hand side of the screen where this search bar is. And instead of trying to twirl these things down and find it, I'm just going to type in silence. Right? And now it's got it. Select clips in time, insert silence. That's on key 5, right? But this is the one that I want. Silence. Silence is the audio in the current selection. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm just going to drag it up here to 7. Boom. And now I have the keyboard shortcut of silence on 7. Let me do that again with insert silence so you can see it again. Okay? So I'm going to click on 5. Now you see that over here on the right-hand side, it's telling me what that key does. I have no modifiers on it, but it inserts silence when I hit it. So let's get rid of it. Boom, it's gone. So there's no keyboard shortcut on here now. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to type silence again because there were multiple different kinds. Okay, now I look at it and I see insert silence. So I'm going to grab insert silence. I'm going to click and hold. I'm going to drag that up to number 5. I'm going to let it go, and then boom, there you go. So you can literally modify or change any of these keyboard shortcuts to match what you want. Okay, V is move, R is razor, insert silence, silence, etc., etc. So delete is always just going to be delete. I mean, it just does what it does. It's the delete button. It does what it does. Anyway, so that is how you add keyboard shortcuts, and that's just a couple of the keyboard shortcuts that you are going to want to use in your editing process. Okay, I'm going to catch you next video, and we're going to start talking about post-processing effects. See you then.